Okay, so girls and boys, I want to continue on with the auxiliary elevations question that we were studying, we're doing in class. Okay, now previously we were looking at the shapes in order to get a true surface of a given shape. Okay, now in this question, so it's on page 176 of your books, question 1. This time we want to the elevation plan of an archway are shown across. Okay, so here's the archway here. Here's the elevation. Here's the plan view. So we want to draw the given elevation and plan. Okay, so which I've done in my question here. And we want to draw an auxiliary elevation of the entire archway on the given ground line x1, y1. So we see here that x1, y1 is here and it's at 60 degrees, at a 60 degree angle. Okay, now we're not told at distance how far out the line is, but we know that it doesn't actually make a difference how far we put out that line. So I'm going to draw my elevation and my plan view in here, and I'm going to draw in my 60 degree line here now. So I'm going to just draw it in here. Okay. Now, so this original line here, okay, just to level it, was my x, y line, so I'll put them in red, x, y, and now we know this line here is my x1, y1 line. Okay, so that's the question set up. Now, we need to, basically this is my auxiliary plane, so I want to be looking in perpendicular to that auxiliary plane in this direction. The difference in this question is we have a circular section here. Now in order to get that in an auxiliary view up here, we're going to divide it up into a number of parts and bring it up into this section here. Now I have it, so I've drawn it up here on our SolidWorks, and if we just look, so this is the image here. Okay, so it's a brick wall. I have it in brick, and this is an isometric view of it. So this is my elevation view. Looking down on top, I would be getting my plan view. So if I look on this direction, okay, and this line here is my auxiliary plane. So basically what I'm doing is I want to look. Okay, so let's get this in a different view. I want to look in this direction here, perpendicular to that auxiliary plane. So what we're going to see in the end is we're going to see an image, and this is what our end result is going to look like. Okay, when we're looking in that direction. So just put that back. I'll put it into 4 different views just to show you. Okay, this is my plan view, or sorry, my elevation view. This is my plan view, and this is my auxiliary plane. Okay, this is just the auxiliary plane shown in plan as well. This is an end view. Now all we're looking at in this section is okay, so now all we're looking at in this section is looking in this direction here, okay, perpendicular to my auxiliary plane. Okay, now in order to start this question, I know all my lines that I project have to be perpendicular to this. Luckily, because this is 30 degrees or 60 degrees, that means I can use my 30 degree set square. Okay, so I'm going to look at the front section first. So this is the front section of, if I'm looking in, this is the front section of the drawing. Okay, so I'm going to pull all these points at 30 degrees. Okay, so start from here. Again, these are all going to be light construction lines. I just have them a little bit heavy here so we can see what's going on the visualizer. Okay, so now I'm just going to label my points here just to make it, I'll just make it a little bit darker. Okay, now so basically what I'm looking at here is I'm looking in the element. So this front line here, okay, is this front section of this, and I've just showed here. So you can see my plan view. Okay, this is my plan view. I can see that that front line is represented by the front surface in my elevation, which is this surface here. Okay. Now, so bring it back to here. Okay. Now, so I'm going to label all these points. I'm going to label this. I'm going to label these. This is point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to call this here point 8. We'll worry about the circular section now in a second. So if I'm looking in an elevation view, so if I'm looking in this view, so let's see now what's the best way to put this up for you. Okay, so there we go. Now, so if I'm looking in the elevation view, I'm looking in this direction. Okay, so I'm seeing this view here. So I see, if I'm looking now in plan view, I'm still seeing this line. So point 1 and 2 are going to be this line in elevation. So this point here is going to be point 1 and 2 in elevation view. This here is going to be, so that's 3 and 8. So this is going to be point 3 and 8. This is going to be points 4 and 7. And this is going to be points 5 and 6. Okay. Now, in order to get a circle in an auxiliary view, we have to divide it up into a number of parts. Okay, so it's always using a 30-60 set square. So because it's a semicircle, I'm going to divide it up into 6 different parts. Again, using your 30-60 set square. Okay, I'm bring it up here. Now, I'm just going to label these because I have these numbered. I'm going to put letters on these. And so this is going to be A, B, C, D, E, F. I'll call this G. Okay, just so we're not getting confused. Now, because I know this is the front surface of my shape, I'm going to bring these down to this front section of my plan view. So, point F is going to come down to here, point E. Okay, like this, and I'm going to label these. That's A, so this is going to, that's A there. It's B, C, D, E, F, and G. Okay. Now I need to find these up in this section. So if I'm looking in this direction, I'm going to see all of this front face here. If I'm looking in this direction. So we're going to be using our compass. Okay. I'm going to look at these. Okay. So I'm going to look at all these first points first. So I'm going to take point number 1. Okay. Point number 1, my auxiliary view. I'm coming up to my XY line, X1, Y1 line, and I need to find a height. So I'm going to come back 2 views back to my XY line and find a height of 1. So I see height 1. Point number 1 is lying on my XY line. So that means point number 1 is lying on my X1, Y1 line. Okay. Point number 2, I'm taking the height from my XY line to get point 2, which is that height there. I'll bring it down, up, and I'm going to mark that off. I'll just extend that line out. That's going to get me point 2. I need to find point 3 and 8 for the next ones. Okay, so 3 and 8. So I see 8 is lying on my XY line. So that means 8 has to be lying on my x1, y1 line. Point 3 though is different, so point 3, the distance from point, so I'm taking the distance from my xy line, like this, and bring it down to 8, back up, and I'm going to find that height, so I'm going to get that distance. That's going to give me point 3. Next I'm looking at is point 4 and 7, so we see 7. Okay, so 7 is lying on my xy line, so that means 7 is going to be also on my x1, y1 line. And we're taking the height of 4 next. So we're taking this height, bring it down, back up, and we're getting it up here. That's going to be point 4. Finally, point 5 and 6. 6 is lying on my xy line, and I'm going to get height 5. Which is this height, so I can join. That's going to get me 5. Okay. So now, just to show you, I'm just going to join all these points up. So 1 and 2 are joining in this view, so 1 and 2 have to join here. Okay, 2 joins to 3, so I'm going to join 2 and 3. 3 joins to 4. Okay, so 4 joins to 5 here, so I'm joining 4 and 5. And again, this is why I label my points so we can see. 5 joins to 6, so we'll just bring that along. 5 and 6, and then 1 joins to 8. So 1 joins to 8, and 7 joins to 6, so 7 and 6. Okay. Now, what I want to do next is I want to break up this circle here and get it over in this view. So we have the majority of this, of the hard work done now. All we have to do is now project our lines up here. So it's the same as taking any of the other points. So I'm going to look at point A first. Okay, so this is point A. We've broken it up. So I'm going to find where A is down here. So if we bring it down to plan view, this is point A. Now we see A and 8, point A and point 8 are along the same line. Okay, so I'm going to go from B now, from C, D, E, F, and finally G. And G and 7 are along the same line, so we already have that line brought in. So it's the same before. If I want to get the height of A here, so this section drawn, I'm going to come back to my XY line, get the height of A. I'm going to bring it down, find where it is in plan, follow that line back up. That's going to get me A. I'm going to do the same for the rest of them. So B is going to be coming down, and B is coming up. It's going to give me height B. Height C. Okay, so bring C down, follow the line up. D. E. Now, if you notice, you'll start to notice that point C and E are the same height. So when you start getting used to these questions, you'll realize that you can pull the two of these points together at once. Okay, F. Okay, so here's F. And finally G. G. That's going to get me those points. Okay, so just now, so I'll just zoom into that. So I'll just extend them lines out so they meet. Okay, like that. So I'll label A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so now we see in this view here, so in my auxiliary or my normal plan view, A joins to 8, so A and 8. Okay, and D, so I can join these in a straight lines. Now, it's important for the rest of them. Now this is going to be a freehand curve. Okay, so we're not using our our set squares to join them, we're going to be joining them freehand. Okay, so we're going to join. Try to get it as smooth, nice and smooth as you can. Okay, so bring it back along. And that's going to be what that section there looks like. That's what the front face of it looks like in my auxiliary view. Okay, and if we look back here, and if we're to get this up, so we look in. Okay, and that's what our front section is looking like. Okay, so that's what we have. So just get it up. Okay. So now basically I have this front section here drawn up here. So I want to get the rest of the body, back body now. So if I'm looking in, this direction, so what other shapes am I going to see? So I'm going to see this point here as well. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up at 60 degrees. Okay, I know that's the back section, but I know that to get the bottom, okay, so point 1 is going to lie here. The next height is going to lie here. Okay, we can join them back now. So okay, and that's going to be like, okay, so I want to get the back section now, so I'm looking in this direction and I'm going to get this height. So I know that that's the same height as 3. I'll bring it up. That's going to give me that height, so I can join this up. Okay, if we start to notice that it's starting to come together like this. Okay, so then I have, that's basically what I have drawn here. Now, if I want to continue on and I can draw in the rest of my hidden detail, I can. Okay, so if I want to draw the back section, I can draw the back section here as well. Okay, but this so far is sufficient as to what we are doing. Okay, so this is an auxiliary view of this object here on page 176, question 1. This is part of your work that you have to complete. Okay, and this is exactly how to complete it. Okay, so we have this auxiliary circle. We have a circle, we have to divide them into 6 parts. Identify which surface this is in plan view, which we identified as the front surface. So we're bringing it down. Again, bring them up, taking all our heights, okay, and plotting them. And again, labeling stuff. When you're getting used to these questions, labeling different points is key so you don't get confused.